My name is Katie. I attended Quest in spring of 2017. When I started packing for Quest, I packed my deepest hurts, my darkest fears, my biggest secrets, and my most sacred dreams. As I arrived at Quest, I began to unpack all of my stuff, including those dreams, those fears, those hopes. One of those deepest hurts was my cousin Amy. My cousin Amy was 32 years old, in the prime of her life, 2 beautiful little girls, a wonderful loving husband. She attended church faithfully. She'd started a shelter for abused and battered women and children. In the fall of 2010, my cousin Amy was diagnosed with cancer. Amy was a wonderful person, a fantastic mom to these beautiful little girls. Again, just a pillar of her community. She was a physician, just a wonderful person. By May of that same year, she had lost her battle with cancer. I was heartbroken. I was devastated. How could God let this happen? I prayed hours. I fasted for Amy's healing. Why didn't God heal her? I didn't understand. I began to doubt God. How can a loving God allow something so painful to happen? How could he allow 2 little girls to grow up without a mom? A few years passed. I found myself pregnant with our second child. I was so excited, just overjoyed. Went in for routine doctor's appointments, only to find out there was no heartbeat. Again, I was devastated. God, how could you allow this to happen? Another year later, same story, we're pregnant again. We're so excited. We go back to that same doctor and hear the same words. There's no heartbeat. My heart broke. I was devastated. I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk to God. I was mad, I was hurt, I didn't understand. As God began to unpack all of these things at Quest, he also began to speak to me. He told me he was grieving with me. He was crying right along with me. He didn't desire this pain and this hurt. Death was an original part of his plan to begin with. He didn't intend for anyone to die. I began to weep, and I began to realize that God had offered hope. He sent his son so we could have eternity, and that life on this earth wasn't the end. God was grieving with me. The peace that brought was amazing. God just wanted to talk to me. He wanted to spend time with me. He wanted intimacy with me. He could handle me yelling at him. He can handle my fear, my anguish, my darkest secrets, and my deepest fears. But he's also got my most sacred dreams and the joy that those bring. That's not the entire story, but I'm gonna leave you with this. God wants to spend time with you. He longs to be intimate with you. He wants to call you out into the wilderness so you can spend time with him, getting to know him. This life is an amazing journey and a wild dance. God is standing here asking you, will you take my hand and dance with me?